Now, who can resist the awesomeness of a delicious pulled pork sandwich? Don't let the process scare you. I have a very straightforward method that will yield some great results. Hey, how's it going? It's Sal from SJ Cooks, and I'm here to guide you through the process of cooking a pork butt on the Weber Kettle using no extra accessories. I have this whole pork butt roast that I purchased from Wild Fork. As always, I like to trim off the fat cap. I find that there's plenty of intramuscular fat between the meat that will melt down and keep it juicy. Now, leaving the fat cap only to remove it when it finishes cooking, well, that never made any sense to me. Plus, taking it off allows for more delicious, edible bark all the way around, which is a huge plus. As you can see, I didn't get precise. Just remove enough of it to expose more of the meat and you'll be good. I'm going to season this pork butt with 2 seasonings. First, I'm using Drunken Chef's Habanero SPG. It's a wonderful rub that you should check out over at Drunken Chef's store. Next, I'm layering some pork rub. This one's made by Oakland Dust. Now be very generous with the seasonings. This big old butt can handle a lot of seasoning. Now, since I'm cooking with no accessories, I figured I'd set up the charcoal snake for this method. I'm stacking a 2x1 line of charcoal briquettes. The snake method is a very easy way to maintain low temperatures for an extended period of time. I have a full video explaining all the details of the snake method, but if you want further details, you can definitely check out my snake method video up here. But here's a quick run through so you don't have to go skipping around different videos. Lay down 2 rows of charcoal on the edges of your kettle and 1 row on top. Next, we'll want to light up one of the ends to get it started. Once lit, the charcoal will slightly ignite the rest of the charcoals over the course of a few hours. I'm using an aluminum pan in the middle to collect any grease, and this further helps regulate temperatures since it has a bit of water. This charcoal won't last until the very end of this cook, but it's very easy to add more down the line, and I'm going to show you later on. Drop in some of your favorite wood chunks to smoke with, and let it come up to temperature. I'm hoping to get ambient temperatures anywhere between 250 and 275 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll set the top and bottom vents to half open. Once your kettle settles, let's place in our pork butt that's been resting and sweating. Let's drop on the lid and begin our cook. You can really let it cook and do its own thing undisturbed for a couple of hours. That's the beauty of the snake method. It really runs itself. Now, if you're relatively new to your grill, I'd advise you to put an ambient thermometer in with your kettle. This way you can monitor temperatures. I personally wouldn't trust the thermometer up on top. Once you get used to how hot it runs and what your grill's sweet spot is, you can go probeless. As you can see, I sneaked in my ambient probe in there during the cook, and it's been running around 250 degrees Fahrenheit consistently for 5 hours. Let's open and see how we're doing. Oh yeah, it looks great. But it seems that we're running a bit low on the charcoal. Let's refill, but we'll need to remove the pork butt out momentarily. Now, I could build out a continuation of the snake and keep this fire burning for a couple more hours, but I took the lazy way and I just poured some more charcoal around the pan. Now this is gonna get a little hotter, and although the snake isn't nicely stacked, it's gonna run the same way and get us through the rest of the cook without any issues. And yes, it's gonna run just a little bit hotter. At this point, I'll start monitoring internal temperatures on this pork butt. Let's close up. Now, if you're curious what the internal temperature on this pork butt is, it's currently at 135 degrees. Now we have quite a while to go. We need to hit about a 200 degrees Fahrenheit internal temperature in order to pull this pork butt. But to speed it up a little bit, I'll wrap it when it hits around 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, and the bark looks beautiful. It's been another 3 hours. Let's give it a quick touch test. You can see that the bark on this has formed very nicely. It's picked up great color, but as delicious as this looks, we're still not at the tender stage. To get us there quicker, it's time to wrap the pork butt with foil. I definitely use nothing inside the wrap and it turns out great, but this time I'm adding some butter, brown sugar, some additional seasoning, the Drunken Chef Habanero SPG, and the Oakland Dust pork rub. Then I'm hitting it with a few drizzles of apple cider vinegar. Okay, although you don't have to put anything in this wrap, you should get creative with what you put in there. Honey and apple juice work really well. And also dropping in some of your favorite barbecue sauce will work wonders. Let's place back on the grill and keep on cooking. Now, why even wrap at all? Although you can go on wrap for the entire cook, most meats will go through this thing called a stall, and the temperatures are going to increase very slowly during this time until it passes the stall. Wrapping just speeds up the cooking process and it'll get us past the stall, and it's going to get tender a lot faster. 2.5 hours later, we're done. Let's check it. Pork butt has hit 202. I've been probing it for tenderness. Once it reached 195 and it wasn't quite ready. Probe for tenderness, make sure that it's nice and smooth, which it is. There's no resistance here. Poke it in a few spots. There's no hit bone there. This pork butt is good to go. Go ahead and put this here. The unfortunate part is I did puncture the aluminum. I'm gonna try to collect some of that juice. When probing, don't do as I did and puncture through the... There we go. We'll give this a rest. So that means it took like 10.5 hours. Now I did give up on the snake that was going around. Once it hit at this spot, I just dumped a bunch of charcoal there. Got the kettle about 275. Got me through the stall, got me to 195 where I just start probing it. Checked it again at 202 and it's perfect. Shut the kettle down. Get a quick little sweep there. Shut it down. Now after it rested for like an hour or so, let's unwrap and then pull this delicious meat. Let's also hit it with additional rub. This is gonna make some killer sandwiches. Now for the sandwich build, let's get a brioche bun and get a nice little handful of this delicious pulled pork. Drop in some barbecue sauce. Now this is the first time trying the Oakland Gold mustard sauce. Let's drop in some coleslaw on top. And as a nice little touch, some additional seasoning. Let's put on its little hat and it's ready. A delicious pulled pork sandwich that's gonna have you craving for more. Cheers. This is an excellent pulled pork sandwich. It's amazing. We really build up those flavors on that pork butt. Got that SPG habanero along with that pork rub by Oakland Dust. That mustard barbecue sauce really shines. It's fantastic sauce. Now remember, you don't have to make a pulled pork sandwich. Check out this next video and I got a lot of ideas for leftover pulled pork that you should check out. So I'll see you on the next one.